I think that
Yeah.
straight people, especially straight men, have this idea that because I am a gay man, my body is designed in a different way than theirs is, and like only our butts have pleasure nerves in them.
That's really funny. It's so true.
You know what I mean? It's like
We have the
only
same
my is illuminated. Like
yeah, we have the
yours
same
doesn't turn
asshole.
on. Like what are we talking about?
Yo, we made it to season 1.5 of Butch Queen After Dark. Not quite season 2, but we are still in the building. Now, before we get into the episode, I need y'all to help me grow this show. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please subscribe to the podcast. Please also rate the podcast. 5 stars, please. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and comment. I want to talk to you. You know I'll be in them comments. And of course, share with your friends. You got friends, right? And. If you have a question, a story, a confession, something you want me to talk about, send a listener letter to butchqueenpodcast@gmail.com. Okay, y'all ready to get nasty? Let's go.
Welcome back to Butch Queen After Dark. I'm David Brandon, content creator, sex educator, and certified slut on a mission to have disgusting, sex-positive conversations because they always lead to better sexual health outcomes in our community. Tonight's guest is an award-winning journalist, a host, author, cultural critic, and self-proclaimed angelic troublemaker. He's a
Mm.
recent graduate of Harvard Divinity School and co-authored the NAACP Image Award-winning book, Historically Black Phrases. Please welcome, very special, Jarrett Hill. Hi.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you guys, calm down, calm down. Thank you.
Calm them. Calm them down. They're very excited to see you. Very excited to see you. So you are a very special guest because I mean normally interview porn stars, self-proclaimed sluts, right? Entertainers, which I absolutely love, right? That's the bread and butter. But you're a little different, right? You're an award-winning journalist and Harvard graduate, divinity school at that. So tell me, why are you here? Like, what brings you here?
You
Why do you
said,
think
"What
I
is
wanted
going
you here?
on? Why are
Yeah,
we
tell
doing this?"
me. Yeah, tell us,
No,
please.
as you were reading my bio, I was like, "Oh, but I'm not a certified slut." I haven't I haven't I haven't got my paperwork yet, but I am doing the work. Trust me, okay?
Okay, yeah, that's
Um,
fine.
uh, I am doing the study. I'm
Yeah,
here because for a few reasons. Number one, I've been following you for a few years now, I think, and we've interacted via DM. I've met you a couple of times in person out in the world, and
yeah.
I really respect what you're doing. And
Thank
I
you.
think that there's plenty of like fear around sex conversation. I think there is so much stigma and all kinds of different things. And like, I am very comfortable talking about sex and sexuality with my friends,
Mm,
but I don't always feel like I have the space and the place to be able to do that in my professional life over the years.
mm,
And part of
yeah,
going to divinity school for me was being able to kind of break myself of some of the things that I've had. That were kind of constricting me in a lot of different ways. And like I think about Christianity as that being one of them, Christianity as being one
mhm,
of them, but also various different ways that I've just kind of constricted myself because of what I saw as professionalism. I was a professor, I'm president of an organization, I'm the producer and host of a show, I'm a
yeah,
this, I'm a that, I'm an author, I'm a that, this and that. And like, I'm not supposed to show up in this kind of way, but I'm also like, I found that me living my life honestly and sharing it with people has been really valuable and useful for folks. And so I'm like trying to do that more fully and more honestly and more openly, and figuring out the ways to do that. And that's why I'm here talking to you today.
that was yes, thank you, and I hope you know that when I'm asking that question, I'm asking in the most joyous way because I this is the story I want to hear. These are the people I want to talk to as well because y'all also have, great sex, great stories, and a lot that people can learn from. You're probably my first professional nigga on the show, you know what I'm
Well,
saying? And
we out here, we dipping and we doing.
love it. I love it so much. Great. Okay. So let's do the icebreaker questions for you. What was your sexual awakening?
Okay, so as I've been listening to the show, I've been knowing you're going to ask me this question, and I'm always like, huh? Right? And like, I don't know. And I know you say like that can mean whatever you want it to mean.
Yeah.
For me, the first thing that I think of is the first time I saw porn. I remember being babysat and like my babysitter had found porn. And I'm not gonna say how old I was because I don't want to incriminate the person.
Okay.
Because if I say how old I was, but I was way too young to be seeing porn. Um, and I remember watching porn and just being like transfixed. I was like,
Mhm.
and I realized now looking back at it, I was like really locked in on dick. I was like,
Mm.
what is happening there?
What's
Right.
between
And
his
like,
legs?
but like, I know that that was part of the moment for me, but also just like, sexual awakening also feels like it's happened in the last year and a half or two with like leaving
Mm,
Christianity and like finally breaking the last bits of like purity culture that I feel like I was still debating with myself sometimes as I'm trying to figure out
mm.
like what my new sexual ethics are. So I feel like as I've heard you say in other episodes, there are probably multiple times where you have sexual awakenings, and I've probably had multiple, but that's probably like the first and maybe more most recent.
Yeah, oof, lots of questions from that, uh, but I think, the first one okay, first one easy. Do you remember that dick? What did that first dick look like to you, and why was it so thrilling?
It wasn't even like a particular one. It was more so just like astonishment of like,
Mhm,
what is going on? What is that? And being like really locked in. Like, I mean,
mm.
I was diagnosed with ADHD years and years later, but hyperfixation is one of the things that comes along with that. And I'm like, oh, I was really fascinated by dick and watching like dick move, watching it get hard, watching it be soft, watching it come,
Yeah,
watching people suck it, watching people grab it, watching people. I was just
yeah,
like
in
that.
it.
And it's actually the thing that always confuses me with like when I hear straight women talking about sex with men, they're like, oh, penises. He sent me a picture of his dick. I'm like, send me a picture of your dick. Like, I love,
Send it
you
to
know what I
me!
mean? Like, absolutely. So
Jarrett's
I'm always
even,
like, this is
even
why
open.
straight men and women don't work together because y'all don't even like, never mind. But yeah.
Okay, so I'm curious about kind of a non-sexual thing. You said you went to divinity school to step away from Christianity. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, I didn't go to step away from Christianity, or that wasn't like my thought process. I really went in wanting to look at the experience of Black, queer, and trans people in the Black church tradition. Right.
Mm,
And so, like, we have this thing that we call the Black church, but there is no like overarching body that is the church, if you will, in the way that
mhm,
the Catholic Church or the Episcopal Church or other churches have that kind of structure. But like, we have a shared experience that is sometimes connected. And I was really curious about other Black, queer, and trans people and how they'd experienced it. And I was kind of wanting to look at the exploitation of our presence in that space,
mm,
and wanting to come out making some like declaration to the church to like be more inclusive or what have you. But when I got there, pretty quickly my perspective on it changed because I was less interested in like making these people in the church see me, my queer, HIV positive, like openly gay, like self. I was tired of trying to make them see me as human, and I was actually
mm,
more interested in serving and speaking to the people who have come through this tradition and been harmed by it or been challenged by it or didn't really agree or felt it confusing. So that's how that kind of shifted, and ultimately I ended up leaving Christianity because the answers to the questions that I was finally able to get made me feel confident that I didn't need Christianity to have a relationship with God.
wow, wow, okay, wow. I mean, that's a revolutionary. Wow, you go there and discover, oh, this is not for me, but I can use this information to help those that are kind of going through the same process.
Well, and I
Um,
should say, like, I have left church many times, right?
mm,
Throughout my adult life, I have
yeah,
been in a church and been like, fuck this. This is not making sense. Or what are you talking about? Or had an issue with the pastor or whatever. I've left church many times, but I've not left Christianity before. And
mm.
I think this was coming all along. But I don't think I went in knowing that would happen, but I knew that it was a possibility.
Got it, got it. Did you study the Bible a lot? Is that like I mean, obviously it's divinity school, so are you like deep in the Bible or
Well, So I was in a 1-year program called the Religion and Public Life program, and so it wasn't
Mm,
like a program where we are focused solely on like biblical exploration and all that kind of stuff. We were looking at religion as a power structure and how it shows up in the world, right? And so I was in a cohort of 10 people. I was there as a journalist and artist. Other folks were there as working in tech or a politician or a lawyer or like coming from various different angles. And so I was coming in looking at it as journalists and artists and wanting to just give some answers to some questions that I had been asking and figuring out what I was supposed to be doing next with
mm,
my cross sections of gifts and interests and all those different things.
okay, got it, got it. Okay, and I guess speaking of cross sections, where do religion and sex intersect? At least for you and what you notice of the world.
Right now, I'm in this place of like re-establishing how I think about sex and sexuality. Um, and to be clear, like my 1 year in divinity school didn't completely change all of my ideology, right? It more so like affirmed that I was moving in the right direction all along.
Mm,
And for me right now, I'm figuring out what should look like for me. What are the ethics or the values that I'm bringing to sex that are divorced from purity culture, right?
mm,
That are not like, I was saying on my show just recently, like the church is not saying anything to me about sex. At the time I was having that first thought, I was like 36, 37 maybe. And I was like, I am a black, gay, single person in my late 30s. Like, what is the message to me about sex? Right?
mm.
Like it is find a virgin and marry them. Like that ain't what I'm looking for at all. Right? Like abort mission, right? And so I'm like, so what is the message to me, right? Like, what are
Mm,
we talking about? And so I have been looking at the ways in which patriarchal and authoritarian and just kind of like our systems are designed to marginalize certain people, right? And
mm,
if you look at like the groups that are often marginalized, there's usually a sexual caricature of that group. If we're talking about women, they're sluts, they're whores. If we're talking about
mm,
gay people, they're sluts and whores, right? If we're talking about Latinos, they are the ricos suave. If we're talking about
mhm,
black men, it's the mandingo. If we're talking about all,
mhm.
we can go on and on and on, right?
Yeah,
And so for me, it was like this control, this power structure kind of system that I was kind of tired of being up underneath and recognizing that I didn't need to be. And so when I think
mm,
about sex and sexuality and how those things interact, I'm refiguring that out for myself right now because I don't have all the answers, but I know it ain't the shit that I grew up with.
yeah. What question, if you can share, what question do you have unanswered? What is there a question that you have unanswered that you could share with?
I'm I right now I'm thinking like how much sex is enough sex or too much or not enough.
That's a great question.
I think about this also in kind of a nerd way, like in the scientific perspective, and you'll probably appreciate this too. There was some study that came out a few years ago that was like men need to ejaculate 21 times per month to have like proper prostate health and all this other shit.
I
And I
saw
was
that.
like, I saw that and I was like, this definitely feels like a study done by men. Gonna say that first. But like if we can assume that even half of that is true,
Right.
right? Like, if I am single and at my house by myself, like, what are the things that I need to be doing to get the things done? Or who do I need to be calling over here to help me get the things done?
Mm,
Right.
mhm,
And
mhm.
so I'm thinking about like, what are the things that are okay to me, okay for me, that feel good, that please me, that are not harming anyone else, that are consenting, that feel good to both of us, that make me feel like I'm having a good time or getting the thing that I want, or those different kinds of things.
Yeah.
That is how I approach the world generally, right? Like I want to do no harm to anyone. I love enthusiastic consent. Like, baby, tell
Yes.
me every 5 minutes. I want to check. Like, how's that? Is that too hard? You like? Oh, talk to me. Like, I love that shit. Right.
Can you
So
define, just for those that don't know, I think you just gave great examples of it, but for those that are very foreign, what is
yeah.
enthusiastic
So
consent to you?
enthusiastic consent. I think of. I think of this as the way that I'm working with the folks that I'm working with on my podcast. They are all friends of mine who I've worked with over the years. And I was like, hey, I'm really interested in this doing this podcast. Would you be interested? And I was really glad that everyone was enthusiastic about it. Like, oh my God, I would love that.
Yes.
Like, oh
Yes.
yes. And I think that same thing with sex, right? If I'm having sex with you and I'm asking you like, oh, is that right? A perfect example is nipples, right? If you,
Mm,
I like my nipples play with, you like your nipples play with, let's play with some nipples, right? But
mhm.
like everybody's nipple play is different. If you like a little soft touch, if you like a squeeze, if you like a twist, like let me know what's up. Talk to me about it. Like, okay, that's enough. Oh yes. Oh yeah, you like that? You
Yes.
want me to touch this?
Yes.
You like that right there? Ooh,
Yes.
okay, I see
Communication.
that.
You
What was that
talking.
face? Okay, I'll back
What
off
was
that,
that
right?
face?
Let me kiss you for a moment. Let me hold you for a second. Let make sure you okay. That was too
Yeah.
strong, or that wasn't enough. Like a conversation about what the person
Yes.
wants how I
Yes.
think about enthusiastic consent.
Yeah, yeah. I give the example of you ask anybody to do anything, and if they're like, "You wanna go bowling?" They're like, "Yeah, I'll go." Like, do you wanna go bowling with that person? "Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
go."
right,
Like,
right.
no, that person should be like, "Yes, I'm about to do a s what's I don't know sports. I'm about to do a strike." That's what they do, right?
I'm about to bowl a strike. Yeah, that was close enough. I'll let you have that
Yeah,
one.
they do a strike or a spare. See, I know a little bit of sports. Yeah, you
Do
gotta
a
get with that
strike.
person that is
You see,
excited. Do a strike, do a spare. I know sport. Uh, I don't. Um, but yeah, you want someone to be excited about sex with you because a lot of times, a lot and oftentimes people don't want to do things, and that's why they're acting unenthusiastic. Sometimes it's hard for people to say no, and you got to pick up on those boundaries too. Like, even if the person's saying yes, that yes must be enthusiastic. A yes isn't always a yes, unfortunately. So it's to look a little bit deeper. So I just love that you brought that up. Um,
yeah, yeah.
Great. Okay. Okay. So back to you and your experiences. So, what's the freakiest thing you've ever done?
Again, I listened to the show, so I knew this was coming, and I'm like, I did this. I'm like wrote down something. Um, I f- I feel like I always think about the Real Housewives of Atlanta and their freak meter conversation. Like, oh, my freak meter's at 10, and it's like 10 for you is 3 for me. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel like the freakiest thing I've done is like there was a guy that wanted me to fist him and I was really into it and I was like I'm down to try it and so I did. The thing about it is I have really big hands. Like I'm 6'3", 230 pounds right now, and like I have big hands and I was like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "All right." I got there and he also wanted me to he wanted me to pee on him, and I wasn't expecting that. Um,
Hey.
I was intrigued, but I had also had coffee, and I did not know
A little
the
acidic.
way that coffee it wasn't a good choice. Not a good
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah. So okay. So you did not pee, or you did pee, but that it didn't go well, or you did not pee.
More like the latter of what you just said. Yeah. It
Yeah.
wasn't it happened and it probably shouldn't have.
I mean, no shade. That's that's on the guy that you peed on. He asked for that, correct?
This was yeah, this was
And he didn't
so
tell
long
you
ago.
prior. This was like in the moment, pee on me, right?
Yeah,
Or am
I
I
feel
wrong?
like sex has been one of the ways that I've started to understand how different body things happen and work. But like
Mm.
that was definitely the first time where I had not been asked about this before. And I was like, yeah, I gotta pee. And realized like, yeah, the reason you gotta pee is because you had iced coffee 2 hours ago. And it's not gonna show up the way that you wanted to in this interaction.
No, 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 no. It showed up exactly how it was supposed to show up. That guy asked he asked for it. I'm so sorry. You
No,
didn't
you're
tell me
right.
about this.
You are
I would have
right.
cleared my
You're
system out. You know how much coffee I drink? If you don't tell me, I'm pissing acid all over you. It's gonna be
yeah.
acid.
Yeah, or you,
Acid.
like, looked at some asparagus once and, like, the way that that shows up in your p all those things,
Yeah.
so,
Or what's the other one? Is it beets that make your pee red so it looks like you're peeing blood? It's
like,
something.
it makes you learn all of these kinds of things, like, I did not
Yes,
know all these
yes,
things about my digestion system until
yes.
I was trying to not have to always y be ready for
It's
different things, so, yeah.
I I ask this question to obviously most of the guests, and it's so interesting how certain kinks come up because normally you're not prepared for them. Like someone just asks you in the moment to do something, or they'll just do something to you out of nowhere. Just like, the pee thing, and these things happen. So I'm glad that you did it. I'm glad you explored that and at least tried, to see what would happen. And I guess my question for you is, despite the taste in his mouth, how did it feel for you in the moment to pee on him?
It was interesting because 1, it's hard to pee when you're hard,
Yes.
and 2, it was the doing it, I was like, "Oh, I get why this is fun for the person."
Mm.
Like, because it again, learning different things about your digestive system, I'm like, it has made me recognize how much pleasure there can be in just peeing when you really gotta go and being like, "Oh, oh, I feel so
Oh,
relieved,"
what a
right?
relief. Yes.
That kind of thing, it was like, "Oh, this is a similar kind of thing," feeling kind of being mixed in with sex and, like, I'm intrigued, right? Like, I get it. I'm not really the idea of being peed on doesn't turn me on, but the idea of doing it, I'm like, I get it. I see that."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I'm the same where, like, I don't I've been peed on and it feels nice because it just feels like a warm
It's
just feels like
warm
a warm
water.
stream. Yeah, it's nice. But, like, if it never happened to me again, I wouldn't be upset. And then peeing on people, I don't really feel anything, but I do love how they feel. I'm like, "Oh, wow, you love this pee, don't you? That's nice."
Well,
Okay,
and so
okay.
y'all talked about compersion on here before, and, like, that is
Yeah,
something for me that I'm like, going back to, like, the enthusiastic consent, like, I love to see pleasure in my partner, and,
yeah.
like, if me peeing on you has really done it, and you really get your life,
It's
I
great.
love that for you. Get your life.
Yeah, get
So,
your life.
yeah.
Okay, and then so let's take it a little bit back because guy so the guy randomly also asked you to fist him, or you were preparing to do that?
No, I was expecting that.
You were expecting that, so you went over there.
Yeah.
Did he tell you any preparation with your hands? What did he tell you to do? Anything?
This was, like, probably 12 or 13 years ago. I'm trying to remember, like, I he had, like, some kind of lube that you mix with water, the powder and water one. You know what I'm talking about? Something like that, yes. And, like, yeah, I mean, it was, open it up. I think there might have been some toy of some sort, but, like, it was a gradual process. But, I mean, it also kind of freaked me out because if you've ever done it, feeling the tailbone is very weird. I was like, "Oh my god," I always say I have what I call the 11 o'clock news syndrome. I've been a journalist my whole life. I'm always worried that I'm gonna be the one that ends up on the 11 o'clock news, and, like, when I felt his tailbone, I was like, "Black faggot gets his hand stuck in someone's ass, more at 11." Like, that's the thing that goes through my mind. But, like, it was an interesting experience, and, like, he got his life, and so I
Yeah,
enjoyed that part of it.
that's great. I think people are going to soon learn that even as a sex educator, I get queasy at certain things. Fisting is one of them. Uh, and I just had a whole episode where a guy was talking about fisting, and the whole time I'm just like,
That's so unexpected.
I know, I know. I hold it together. I talk about it. I teach it, but under it all, my knees are weak. When you said,
Really? That's
yeah,
so
my knees are
interesting.
like right now. My knees are weak. Um, yeah, and that's why this year I have told myself I need to fist someone because I need to conquer this fear. I might pass out while in their body, but at least I'll have done it. And
The idea of you being, like, this deep and, like, passing out is
I'm a
crazy.
fainter. I am definitely a fainter. So we'll see. We'll see. But when you said that tailbone part, I
Really?
said, oh, yeah, yeah. It's the most fun part about me. I will faint boots. I will just faint.
I love that.
I'm like, I need to get out of here.
The idea of you fainting taking me out.
I'm cut. I just be fainting. Okay, very good. Yeah. So, last question: have you fisted since, or if not, do you still have the desire to do so?
No, I haven't done it again. I would. I In the right setting with the right person in the right
Yeah,
scenario, yeah, but it's
yeah.
not something that I'm just like,
Your
like
hand's
I
not
gotta
looking for
do.
some booty hole. Your hand's not.
Yeah, I'm not like out looking for opportunities. But like if it comes up, I'm down. It's an interesting thing that
Got it.
I see people having like significant pleasure in, and I'm like, that's interesting. But
Yeah,
it's not like something
yeah.
that I'm like I need.
What do you need?
Um,
What do you need?
I what do I need? I feel like I mean, in a sexual context, I feel like I generally need to feel good about the person that I'm connecting with if I'm connecting with someone else. And if I'm with myself, because I'm doing really good work over here by myself. If I'm by
Mhm.
myself, I really just want to be able to have like the time and freedom to be able to enjoy that for as long as I feel like enjoying it.
Mm. Talk more about that. What does that look like? The time and the
So
freedom. What is that?
what's that now? What does that mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there have been times in the past where I will like put on my calendar a block of hours where I'm
Good for
like,
you.
look, I love the focus on my iPhone to be able to like do not disturb, leave me alone. Because again, I was saying I think about this in a scientific perspective sometimes too, and I'm like I'm single at home, like, one of my love languages is touch. I'm not, like, touching a whole lot, I'm not getting, like, the different things that I need, so I'm recognizing that, like, my body is probably doing some things and I'm hornier in certain ways because I'm probably touch deprived in certain kind of ways, so, like, what do I need to do to, like I'm thinking about all of these kinds of things, so when you ask about needs and, like, how does that show up and all of those kinds of things, that's how I'm thinking about that sometimes
Mm.
very practically, but also, like, I'm a grown man who is single and sexually active and has a healthy libido. Like, I want to get the things in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that you said you set a block of time, right? Intentional time to when I'm assuming just masturbate to like just feel yourself, right? Why do you think that was important? And what do you do in that time?
Um, I haven't done that so much here lately, but when I started doing it, it was because it was a bunch of things. Like I was having some like significant bouts of depression. I think a lot of it was during the pandemic and like while we were in quarantine. And like the demands on me were not the same. And I was like, I'm in this house, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm also horny. I've got access to porn, to a partner, to a whatever, um, get it in. And so like there would be times when I would I really appreciate like the beta community. Um,
Mm.
being able to like get in and enjoy like a bait by myself for an hour or two and like I love an edge. I love that kind of being able to kind of lock in that way. I'm not quite a gooner to be quite honest by like the real definitions, but
Sure.
like
Yeah.
I love being able to and have that time. Um, and like I said, I haven't done it as much lately, but like when I want
Hmm.
to lock in, I'll be like, oh, tonight's gonna be
Tonight's that night.
whatever I feel like that night. Tonight's that night, whether it's me or me and
Yeah.
whoever, or whoever's, because
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes.
Could be multiples. And so like take me to your jerk off setup, your edging setup when you're just alone, right? Like what's next to you? Is there a screen? Are we on our phone, a laptop, a TV? Like I'm very interested in the way that people play with themselves when no one is watching. What does your setup look like?
I I feel like there's usually a great lube. Like I have tried a couple of different things. Like I appreciated the Bader Balm. I think they make a good product. There's like a Strokenut, which is another product that I
Mm,
got when I was over in the UK. Lately, like cocoa butter works, coconut oil, those kinds of things. That
tried and
tends to
true.
be really important.
Tried and true.
Lately, hello.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I will also say like I enjoy uh I oh yeah, I said cocoa butter. I also have lately I've been doing like poppers a little bit more than I've ever had in the past,
Okay.
and like
Popper
poppers
baiting.
have been an interesting addition, yeah, over the last few years. Whereas like I was really scared of them. I was like, I don't know what that is, and some purity culture shit, probably
Yeah,
like
yeah,
all that,
same. Mhm.
right? And now I'm like, this does something. This is, and so over the last few years, it's been like enjoying it more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I have like popper sitting in my it's sitting here for years that I never touch, and so like that's been something that I enjoy. I don't make a habit of doing porn on my computer
Mm,
much.
okay.
I do enjoy casting to the TV on occasion, but like I feel like the phone has been, the place that the porn has really lived for me over the years.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but I find that most people are jerking off with their phone, and I do not. Never, never. Too small a screen. The screen
Really?
is too small. It's too small, and navigating between things takes too long for me. And and I I have like a system, like a filed system that I can access from my phone, but I need to look at it on a laptop and possibly my iPad. I just started like doing a little on my iPad, but like my phone, I can't do it. But I find that 99% of people, they're on their phone. Yeah.
Well, I've asked myself like, what is this about? Because when I hear other people talk about being on their computer and other things, I'm like, why am I always on my phone? And I think there's something about the closeness of the screen and like the
Mm.
convenience of it. I think for people probably, and like just the ease of
Yes.
use.
Yeah.
Usually to me, the computer, I gotta like pull it out. I gotta plug it into the TV or the AirPlay it or whatever else. Like I
You
don't
ready to
always
go?
enjoy that, but if I am in like a longer li listen, but if I'm in like a more of a planned time for myself, then I'll
Yeah.
set things up, right? Like
Okay. Okay.
I love a lighting situation, like give me the colored lights. I have color
Mm.
light throughout the house. Give
Okay.
me the colored light, give me the right screen, give me the music, give me there's
Mhm.
a great playlist that I like for different things. Like I have a playlist that
Mhm.
I curated and I have a couple of different things. I'm like, this does work for me in a particular kind of way, and I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's music. If I'm really doing it, it's music, it's lights, it's lube, it's content, it's enjoying it, it's do not disturb, all the
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. And I'm so happy you explained that because I want people to see that, like, that is a form of self-care. Boots, like, that is self-care. Taking care of your
Absolutely.
self sexually is self-care, but a lot of people find it to be selfish, to be the anti-self-care, to be, like, the wrong thing to do. They feel a lot of shame because they took time to pleasure themselves, and it's like, if you're happy in your sex life, if you can please yourself, you'll be really happy in a lot of other areas of your life because you could always come home and jerk off and be fine. So, like, get into
Say that. And like,
your stuff.
well, and I think to your point about like the purity culture piece of it, like there masturbation has been one of those things where I'm like, I don't understand what the argument against it is, right? You don't want
Mm,
me to have sex with another person.
right.
So, but you also don't want me to have sex with my own damn self. Like,
Right.
so, but again, one of the things that I think is really challenging about religion, a lot of religions is like there's just no room for pleasure. Right? There's
Mm,
no the only
mm,
joy that we express, the only joy that we can have is in the Lord, right? Whatever
yeah,
that means. But I think the messages that we give people about sex and religion is usually sex is evil and bad when you're young. When you get to like the age where it's appropriate, it's you better not be having it and until you get married. And then you get married and you better not be having too much of it or enjoying it too much. Right. And it's like, what are we talking about? So
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. This doesn't sound fun at all. I'm like, I feel like my God wants me to have some fun. So I don't know what
Oh
this one's
yeah.
talking about. Okay, so you mentioned earlier
1000%.
nipple. Oh, yes, yes. You mentioned earlier nipple play. Talk a little bit about how you discovered that your nipples were sensitive.
I honestly don't remember discovering that
Mm.
my
Maybe
nipples
it
were
always was. Maybe they always
sensitive.
were, and you just always felt them that
Yeah,
way.
like, as you say that, I don't have a particular memory of, like, that light bulb going on of, like, "Oh, shit." Um,
Mhm.
I do have, like, over the years, like, different partners pay attention to your body in different kinds of ways, right? And
Yes.
so you'll have a partner and it's like, "Oh," and they'll be like, "Oh, you really like that?" And it's like, Yeah, yeah, do that
Yeah,
some
I guess
more,"
I do.
right? But I
Yeah.
don't really have a particular. Yeah, exactly, right, like, I guess I do. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't have, like, a specific memory of, like, the first experience of that.
Yeah, but you also said you like other people's nipples, so when do you think you started at least paying attention to that body part on yourself or possibly others?
Um, I like an exploration. Um, I like so for me, especially, like, now in, you know, probably in my 30s and now into being 40, and I turned 41 in a week, like, I love an exploration, and, like, part of that can be the conversation beforehand, right? In an ideal situation, if I'm having sex with someone else, I love to have a conversation about, like, what do you like to be called? What do you not like to be called? What are
Mm,
some things that I should look out for, or that you really love, or that you don't wanna be like, in an ideal situation, there's, like, some conversation beforehand. And like but I also love to like if the time is there to like explore a person's body and like see what they respond to and what they're into and what they like. And I think nipple play has probably been a part of that of just seeing like, oh, you jumped at that. Or
yeah.
I heard the sound like I hate quiet sex. Like if we're gonna be doing something, I would like to hear from
Mhm,
you. I know some people are into just being silent. I'm not that man, right? I want to be verbal and vocal. And like
mhm.
again, that for that enthusiastic consent and response kind of thing. So I think it just has been kind of understanding that I like to know what another person likes. And I think the nipple play it kind of grew out of that.
Valid, and are there any other body parts that are sensitive in that way for you?
I I'm actually pretty sensitive all over. Like
Oh,
yeah, I've had partners where they're like, I'm only sensitive in my ass, and I'm like, I don't get that because
you gotta explore more,
you.
baby, other parts.
I'm like, I don't get it. If that's true for you, cool. But like, if you touch my shoulder in the right kind of way, and I feel a certain kind of way about you, that could work. You know? But like, I think that there is a lot of pleasure that people miss out on by not letting their bodies be explored. And I'm like, I'm very versatile. I'm very into the side play as well.
Mm,
I like to make out. I don't really embrace like a title of top or bottom or
mm,
even just gay. I identify as queer because I could see myself um being expansive in that. I'm attracted to men, romantically, but sexually, I feel like I could have sex with all kinds of different folks. So, yeah.
great, and ooh, okay, so, talk about not labeling yourself as a top or a bottom. Why do you choose not to choose either or even title yourself in your sexual position?
Um, it's really multifaceted for me. I but I don't identify with either one because I like to be able to top and I like to be able to bottom, and depending on the vibe of me and the partner that I'm with, like sometimes it's like, oh, I'm definitely coming in with top energy. And sometimes people come in expecting me to be a top because I'm a tall black man and I'm, the size that I am. But like
Mhm,
I don't really see the need to be like, I am this or I am that. Like I've really crafted my life in such a way that I don't have to wear the labels that people try to assign to me in my professional life and in my personal life. And like I feel that same way when it comes to like sex and sexuality. Like I'm not really interested in like limiting myself to being a top. Like
yes,
I'm not interested in the limitation of being a bottom. I
yes.
love bottoming and I love topping and I love being able to do other things as well. So
Yes, yes, you are describing sex as verbs and not as these titles, right? Not as these finite things. I top, I bottom, I side, I can be versed, like I can do all these things, but I'm not just this one identity, which I think is just the best way to go.
Well,
It
and I
really
think
opens.
even to this point that you're making, like, I've always found it interesting that people say, "I am a top, I am a bottom, but I am verse." Like, the limitation in the way that we use that language, right? Like, I'm locked into this. I am a this. I am
Yeah,
a that, as opposed to I
yeah,
operate this way, right?
yes, yes.
And that is a distinction that I'm just fascinated by.
Yeah, yeah. You really just open yourself up because as soon as you label say I'm a top, then they now whatever I think a top is, I'm projecting that on you, right? Just instead of saying I top, it's just so much clearer. Now, you
Absolutely.
also mentioned being 6'3", right? And loving to bottom. How is it your experience being a taller person that likes to bottom?
um, I, well, for one, I feel like there's always the expectation that I'm a top, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
taller than most people, and like it that expectation is actually a real turnoff to me.
Good.
And I found that like
Yeah.
if you are like, oh, I'm expecting you to top me, like I'm probably not going to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But like bottoming is something that one, I enjoy it just like physically, like sexually, I enjoy it, but I also am appreciating the I'm appreciating it like from a social perspective of like, y'all really think that I'm not supposed to do this, right? Like, or y'all
Mm,
really like have a feeling about it. And it's just crazy to me that you feel that
mm,
strongly about it, right? But
mm.
like I enjoy it and I'm like, oh, I could do this often if I want to. And like it doesn't have anything to do with like being a man, being masculine or feminine or any of that shit. Like I don't have attachment to those kinds of things where like the gender norms that we talk about and the stereotype, like I'm actively trying to like pull that stigma out, right? And like
Yeah.
break it
Yeah.
down. And I'm just like the ways that we have attachment to those titles of top and bottom, um, they irritate me. And like I'm like, because you hear top, now you think that I'm supposed to be a provider, I'm supposed to be a defender, I'm supposed to be more mask, I'm supposed to dick you down.
Ridiculous.
And because I'm tall and black, I'm also supposed to be a mandingo that's gonna beat it down. And like there's always like aggressive language, like there's so much shit that comes with that. And I'm just like, yo, what's
Yeah.
happening? Now, mind you, if I want to do that, I will. But
Absolutely.
like if I don't,
Absolutely. Yeah.
the
If I so
expectation
desire.
is annoying. So yeah.
So, I mean, what I'm hearing is, bottoming at 6'3" black man, is a revolutionary act. Yes,
It
this is changing things.
Lord, I feel like that becomes the title of this episode, and that makes me
It
nervous.
does.
I I I oh Lord. But I mean, I think so to some
Yes,
degree. Like
absolutely.
I
We need you. We
will
need
be
you.
yeah.
We need
Wow,
you. Change the
this is what I
game.
was saying
Change the
here?
rule. The girls are stuck. The girls are so stuck. Tall
They
top,
really are,
short
and to be
bottom,
fair,
big top, small
well,
bottom. The
I
girls are
think
stuck.
the gays are stuck, but I also think the straights are too, right? And I think
Oh,
that
yeah, yes.
straight
This
people
is a
have this
society
interesting
issue. This is a
dynamic
society issue. Yeah,
1000%, right? I think that
yeah,
straight people, especially straight men, have this idea that because I am a gay man, my body is designed in a different way than theirs is, and like only our butts have pleasure nerves in them.
that's really funny. It's so true.
You know what I mean? It's like
We have the
only
same
my
butt.
taint is illuminated. Like
Yeah, we have the
yours
same
doesn't turn
asshole.
on. Like what are we talking about?
Wow,
Yeah.
never thought
So,
about that. Yeah,
yeah.
very good. Okay, uh, going back to some of my icebreaker questions, which have now just turned into the whole episode, which is great. That's what I want. Uh, what is your current sexual fantasy?
This was the hardest one for me to come up with because I don't
Mm,
have like a whole bunch of like, oh, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do that. Cause I feel like I generally am like, I do the things I want to do. The thing that came to me was like, I would love some like great vacation situation where I could be with like 2 or 3 people that I really enjoy, feel safe with, feel comfortable with, and I'm attracted to, and we could fuck down wherever we felt like it, probably outside, inside, bathroom, pool, hot tub,
yep,
out in
yep.
the grass, like, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. Where's the
That, I think, is
destination?
my
Where do you
fantasy
think
right now.
where would that
Somewhere
be?
remote. I'm not, like, super picky about it, but it needs to be, like, somewhere remote where, like, if I'm outside, I'm not worried about, like, neighbors. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
wanna be somewhere with some distance from some other motherfuckers. Like, I don't wanna be near
Mhm.
people. I just want us to be us at some distance.
Okay. So take me there, right? So you get there, you're the last one to arrive. You walk in, it's like this paradise, and there's 3 people there waiting for you, right? They're the most beautiful people you've ever seen, and they all want you to initiate the sex. What is the first thing that you do?
Damn! First of all, I love you're the last one to arrive as a detail in there. I just wanna I appreciate you.
Are you
I
triggered?
fucks
Do you
with
know?
you. No, no, I love it. I love the
Okay.
thoughtfulness of that, like, "Oh, everything is ready, you just gotta show up." I love what
Yeah,
you did with
yeah.
that. I
This is
just wanna
this
say
is
I
for
fucks
you.
with you.
This is for you. Absolutely.
Um,
I mean, that's what I would want.
yeah, I'm like, what is the first thing that I wanna do? I feel like I just wanna be, like, at ease, and, like, I would
Mm,
love for there to be, like, a sunken living room kinda situation with, like, the sofa,
mhm,
and, like, the sofa is safe to, like, get it in on, and, like,
mhm,
I probably wanna be able to, like, lay around, have conversation, and, like, let
mhm.
it organically happen. When I used to live in Atlanta, I went to, like, this couple had a party at their house, and there was, like, 10 guys in their backyard in the hot tub and the pool or whatever, and, like, it was my first time ever doing something like that, and I was like, being casual and having a drink and having a conversation, and the whole time in the back of my head, I'm like, "When does this start? Like, how does this
Yeah.
go? What do we
Where are we
do?"
gonna start fucking?
Right, like, how long do we do this part, right? And,
Yeah,
like, at
yeah.
some point, one person in the hot tub kissed another person, and, like, the weather changed, and, like, things got going.
Yes,
I love
yes,
that type of shit,
yeah.
right? Like, I don't need your dick to be out and hard when I walk in the room, like, that doesn't necessarily, like, move me, but, like, if it can just, like, organically happen and, like, everyone's into it and we have a good time, chef's
Yeah.
kiss.
Yes, I completely agree. It's so funny because I've been to that backyard jacuzzi party where I'm just looking around like, who is gonna start fucking? Like, what is it going to start? And I've also like, it's funny. My husband and I have hosted like, if we have like a sex friend over, we usually like do a game night. So we'll like start playing video games or whatever. And I'm like more the organic one. I'm like, I'm just gonna let it happen. Like, if we play video games for 3 hours and then we start fucking in the fourth hour, like I'm fine with that. But my husband,
Yes.
my my husband wants things to go. So like, we'll be playing video games and he'd be like, next person who loses gotta suck dick. And I'm like, oh my god.
And here I'm like, "Do do 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 do, oh, I
Well,
lost.
I
Well,
love
like, here we go."
So yeah, I can appreciate both ways, but I really do like the organic way. The issue though sometimes that does happen with the organic way is, which has happened to me before, is some nobody will make a move, and the girls will just be sitting there. Like I remember this
Yeah.
one jacuzzi like hot tub party I went to, and everyone was just sitting in the water. There was no music playing. We were just sitting there, and I'm like, is someone? I guess I got to start. Okay, and I get started, but yeah, it could be interesting. Be interesting. Uh,
Well, it's also interesting, like, I when I lived in Atlanta till I was like mid-20s. I think I was like 26 when I moved to LA. I was doing a lot more like exploration in Atlanta with like sexual community and doing sex outside my house essentially, right? Like going to other places. Um I was much more interested in that in Atlanta. When I moved to LA, I didn't feel as safe doing that, like from an industry
Yeah,
and professionalism perspective. Like
yeah,
I'm like, I don't know who I'm gonna run into. And like it just made me not feel like I could do that as much. And now I'm kind of trying to like break out of that a bit more. But
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a real concern for people that live in LA. I know definitely it was for me, coming here and like at first coming here to be an actor and be a writer and be in entertainment and still wanting to be sexual and trying to figure out, which road do I take? Can I go to this party? Can I go to this steam room if I want to be, respected in the industry? Um,
Mm.
and eventually I left all of that because for me it was freeing for me to leave that behind so I could just be my full self. Um, One of my goals a couple years ago was to be the same person as much as I can in every room, and I didn't want to have to like code switch as much anymore. Like I'm like,
Ugh.
ugh, how do I just like can I just be a slut in this room and that room? How do I do that? Um, and I had to leave a lot of stuff behind so I could do that. So now I finally feel that I could do that. And I've been speaking to a lot of people that are still in those industries and are still finding ways to even do that while staying there, which is really, really impressive to me. And that's what it sounds like you're doing too.
I love what you just said because I literally just said this in the last 24 hours to a friend. And I was like, you know how you're like thinking a thing and then like you get asked about it and then it comes out of your mouth and you're like, oh, that's how I feel about that. I have those experiences sometimes. And like just yesterday, I was saying to a friend, like, I find myself increasingly interested in not performing,
Mm,
right? And like,
mm,
I, and I mean, my job is to perform sometimes, right? I host a
yeah,
show, I host a
yeah.
game show, I go on television, I go on the radio, I write, I do different things, right? Sometimes the job is to perform. But what I mean by that is like when I go into these spaces, I'm trying not to like put on a facade of like performance and like acting like I don't I speak this way. I always speak this way. Or like, you know what I mean? Like I come from like a news background and a producing background and like we were taught that we need to speak a certain kind of way all the time because that is the way that it sounds when you're a journalist, right? And it's like,
Mhm.
don't nobody talk like that, right? And like the way that you inflect and always speak in a certain kind of way, and like this has shown up in my writing, and like I've been writing in all lowercase for coming up on 6 years now, and my
Mm,
name is spelled in
mm.
lowercase, etc. And like trying to just break those conventions that are useless and feeling like I don't want to perform, I don't want to have to code switch, I don't want to have to pretend like or cut off a part of myself to fit into this box to be in this space with you, right? And so I so agree with you on that. It's a really big thing for me right now too.
Yeah, yeah. It is a journey and it's not easy. And I struggle with it still, but I feel closer to it now than ever. So I'm always grateful for that. Uh, okay. We're coming down to the end. Jarrett Hill, you have given us such great insight, really, really good information on religion, on sex, on nipple play, side play, and setting up a nice jerk off system, which I hope a lot of people do. Because I think it's so smart to be intentional about your time alone, your self pleasure. But before we go, do you want to drop your socials so people can find you?
Yes, you can find me in just about every platform at Jarrett Hill. My name is two R's and two T's because my parents were being unique. I Jarrett Hill is where you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, on Substack. I just launched a new show called The Jarrett Hill Show, where we are
Hey.
each week we are digging into different topics from politics, pop culture, and resistance. So we are looking at the different ways that we are showing up in the world, and having conversations from a perspective of folks that are often marginalized or intentionally exploited. So that is Black folks, that is queer folks, that is trans folks, that is women. Those are the various different intersections of marginalization, and like really wanting to uplift those voices. I'm doing this show right now because it is my activism. It is the way that I feel like I can contribute to, one, serving people in this time, but also developing ideas and a resource, if you will, for rebuilding after the revolution, because we gotta tear all this shit down and then like have something new to create. So
That's right.
you can find me at Jarrett Hill and all the other platforms, and I invite you to like, comment, subscribe. I think I'm supposed to be saying that too. So
Yeah. Also, hop in his DMs. He is 6'3". He has big hands, and
you know
he
what?
does all the sex things. So
You
get
I
on there.
he's right. I'm a surly top and just really
You gotta tell the people what they want to hear. How tall is he?
Liz, right, exactly. That's what they want. So fine.
You say all that
Yes,
nice
I am
stuff.
6'3",
How
very
big is his
tall.
dick?
All that, right? Exactly. The DMs will be coming, I'm sure.
And with that, thank you so much, Jared. I will definitely have you back next season. You've been great, and well, I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
I want to say, David,
Please.
before you go, I want to say
Mhm.
thank you to you. I listened to your first episode, and I heard your husband saying to you how important and how needed this is. And I
Mm,
couldn't agree with him more, because I think that we have to be able to break these conventions and open up the conversations about who we actually are and not who we are pretending to be, or what we actually want, not what we're pretending to want. And I feel like you are doing that work. And I'm just really, really grateful to be around in a time when you are doing this and I am doing this and we can do it together. So thank you.
yes, yes. Thank you. Yes, look, we doing it together. We doing it together. Thank you so much, and you inspire me. So thank you for all that you do and carving the path so we can follow. And yes, with that, I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Thank you for watching and or listening to Butch Queen After Dark. Again, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, rate, subscribe, do all the things. We try to make this show grow. And send your listener letters to butchqueenpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, stay nasty, and stay after dark.